Today, we're going to be taking a look at the tragic events that transpired on November 5th during Travis Scott's set during the Astroworld Music Festival. We'll be going over some sensitive topics in this video, so viewer discretion is advised. Let's take a look at the scenario with the wider lens now that more information has come out. Why did Travis Scott not stop his concert when fans were literally dying in the crowd? Well, let's find out. Why were people dying in the first place? As I'm sure all of you watching this have heard, on November 5th, 2021, during the Astroworld Festival, 10 people tragically lost their lives and countless more have suffered injuries. The death toll unfortunately rose to 10 people after a young boy succumbed to his injuries in hospital 10 days later on November 15th. The reason this happened was due to the mob-like crowd rushing to the front of the stage as fast as possible, crushing the people who were already up front. The concert goers that were close to the stage were pushed up against each other and the stage, literally crushing people to the point in which they couldn't breathe. People in the crowd being collapsing and getting trampled on before the concert even started. According to some concert goers, the atmosphere was dangerous hours before Travis Scott even took the stage. The reason as to why the entire crowd rushed the stage is still unclear and currently under investigation. However, no action was taken by security, Live Nation event staff, or Travis Scott while the surging was taking place. In fact, Travis Scott may be blamed for the surging. Did Travis Scott cause riot-like behavior? As of this moment, we're not sure who's to blame exactly. However, Travis Scott has been sued by multiple parties who attended his set at Astroworld Fest on November 5th, citing he incited riot behavior. He has also been charged with negligence and endangering a minor. As of yet, he has not been found guilty, but if he gets found guilty, he'll be held criminally responsible. Attendees of the concert have said that Scott had a major role in the crowd's behavior, apparently telling the crowd that he wanted to see rages who wants to rage. Moments after Scott asked to see some rage, the first ambulance made its way through to assist members of the crowd. It was at this point Travis Scott did say, "There's an ambulance in the crowd." Whoa, whoa, whoa. Concert goers have said all this did cause the concert to stop for several minutes while Scott looked on. When the ambulance began to drive out of the concert, he then said, "If everybody good, put a middle finger up to the sky." This of course instantly put the crowd back into its mob mentality, with the profane gesture being used by essentially the entire crowd. Seconds after the music resumed, Scott said he wanted the crowd to make the ground shake. Obviously, Travis Scott didn't tell the crowd directly to rush to the front and to crush and trample anyone. However, this behavior at this event and others prior clearly invites the crowd to go as wild as they possibly can, which is obviously going to inflict damage. Travis Scott does have a reputation for inciting chaos at his concert, as he has been arrested for doing just that on not one occasion, but two different occasions. Scott was arrested for inciting violence at a concert in Arkansas, and one in Chicago saw him being arrested for disorderly conduct. Clearly, Scott had a role to play in the crowd's insurrection, but was it his job alone to stop it? Who should have stopped the show? Yes, it's true, Travis Scott probably could have stopped the show himself after seeing multiple ambulances. However, to be fair to him, he has said in an interview following the accident that he didn't know the full extent of the situation. Scott had no idea that anyone had died during his concert, let alone 10. Travis Scott did make a mistake by not supporting his concert and not caring enough about his injured fans to take time to find out what had actually happened. This is an objective fact. However, with that being said, do you know who did know? Live Nation Entertainment, the organizers of the event. Live Nation didn't shut down the event until 10 p.m. local time, which was a full 40 minutes after the injuries and deaths started piling up. Live Nation knew exactly what was going on, unlike Travis Scott, and deemed the concert was good to continue. The fact that the concert was allowed to continue after a live band had been lost is ludicrous, and Live Nation should be held responsible. They have been sued for negligence by multiple concert goers, and with good reason. There are a damning number of facts that speak to their negligent behavior in this incident. For starters, Live Nation has worked with Travis Scott before, so they're not unfamiliar with his onstage antics. So since his words and action began to rile the crowd up to an uncontrollable level, and then people began to literally pass out, get trampled on and die, that should have been the end of it. Secondly, because they were well aware of Travis Scott's stage antics, the security team should have been equipped to deal with this exact scenario. Live Nation had 505 security staff members and 91 armed security officers, along with the city of Houston provided 76 off-duty police officers and over 500 on-duty police officers. Now in total, around 1,100 security personnel may sound like an appropriate amount. However, there were still 50,000 concert goers, which is about one security personnel per 45 people. This simply isn't enough people for an event of this caliber, let alone Travis Scott's reputation for inciting the crowd being taken into effect. Live Nation should have done a better job preparing for an event such as this with upgraded security numbers, better prepared medical staff, and Live Nation should have been much quicker to stop the concert. There was no reason for the show to go on for a full 40 minutes after the mass casualty event began. So finally, who was at fault? This incident cannot be fully blamed on just one person. This tragic event will forever be remembered in the music industry and will permanently scar all who were involved or who lost someone that night. However, pointing a finger at one single person and blaming the entirety of the blame on them is impossible in this scenario. As I mentioned earlier, Travis Scott could have stopped the concert himself once he saw the ambulance. He had the mic and the full attention of all the 50,000 in attendance. It would have been easy for him to shut the whole thing down. Unfortunately, he has no idea as to the extent of the scenario and just how deadly it was. Therefore, he assumed the show must go on, as nobody told him otherwise until 40 minutes into the chaos. The security and medical staff were criminally undermanned and tried their best along with Houston police officers and the Houston Fire Department, which just leaves the event organizers, Live Nation, who tried to keep the casualties to a minimum, while also allowing the show to continue, which of course was the wrong decision, and they'll most likely be found criminally responsible, and will hopefully learn from their mistakes. What happens now? It's heartbreaking that it took an incident of this caliber to make us change how we attend concerts, but this will obviously do that. From now on, concerts will most likely be more than appropriately staffed. People will probably act much more considerate to others around them. Mosh pits will likely be stopped before they happen. Performers will stop a show way before the crowd spirals out of control. Performers will likely think before they incite a riot with their words, whether it be on purpose, in the spirit of fun, or on accident. Whatever the case, at least a tiny bit of good will come from an event that caused so much harm. We hope and pray for a speedy recovery for the people suffering from injuries, physical or mental. Our thoughts and prayers are with the families and loved ones of those lost at this event, which include Franco Patino, 21, John Hilgert, 14, Brianna Rodriguez, 16, Rudy Pina, 23, Jacob E. Jeranek, 20, Axel Acosta, 21, Madison Dubinsky, 23, who all tragically lost their lives on site, along with Barty Sahani, 22, Ezra Blunt, 9, who both died later in hospital due to their injuries. Rest in peace. That's all we have for you today, guys. We hope this video is informative and shed light on the unfortunate events that took place on November 5th. Remember, if you or someone you know was affected by the events that took place, don't be afraid to reach out and talk to someone. People are around to help. Thanks for watching today's video. Please help spread awareness of the events that took place. Consider sharing this video with your friends and family. If you found it helpful, please also consider leaving a like on the video and subscribing to the channel. It's completely free for you to do, and it only takes a few clicks. Thanks again, and I'll catch